All right, so welcome everyone. That this the time for our weekly webinar, Market Masterclass with Religare. So in this webinar, we talk about the performance for the week uh, when it comes to benchmark, key indices, sectoral indices, Nifty gainers, top 5 gainers, losers, followed by our view uh, on both Nifty and the banking index, sectors to focus on, stocks to watch. Everything we'll cover in next 20 minutes, followed by a quick feedback poll and the Q&A session. सो आप सभी का स्वागत है हमारे इस वीकली वेबिनार में। और इस वेबिनार का पर्पस ये है कि हम नेक्स्ट वीक के लिए तैयारी करें कि किस तरीके से मार्केट इस हफ्ते रहा। तो उस पर तो हम ज़्यादा टाइम स्पेंड नहीं करेंगे। क्या तैयारी होनी चाहिए नेक्स्ट वीक के लिए, किन चीजों पे आप ध्यान रखेंगे, निफ्टी, बैंकिंग इंडेक्स, सेक्टर्स, स्टॉक्स, इन सब पे ज्यादा हम टाइम स्पेंड करेंगे। करीब 20 मिनट में हम इस सेशन को एंड करेंगे। उसके बाद एक क्विक फीडबैक पोल और फिर कोई भी सवाल है आपका, एक Q&A करके क्वेश्चन मार्क बटन है, यू कैन प्रेस दैट बटन, राइट योर क्वेश्चन एंड सबमिट post the webinar. So in case if we miss something during the presentation, we can address those queries during the Q&A session. So let's start with this disclaimer first, that the observations which we are going to share is not a trading or investment recommendation. So before making any decision based on the information shared, please check with your financial advisor. तो जो भी हम बात करने वाले हैं ये कोई ट्रेडिंग और इन्वेस्टमेंट रिकमेंडेशन नहीं है। एक हमारा नजरिया है जो कि मार्केट को लेकर के किस तरीके से चीजें पैन आउट हो रही हैं, बट उसको यूज करने से पहले अपने फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर से आप जरूर बात करें। सो दिस इज द पिक्चर फॉर द एंटायर वीक। इस हफ्ते हुआ क्या? तो लास्ट वीक वी ऑल नो इट वाज अ शार्प डिक्लाइन, roughly around 2.5% in both Nifty and Sensex. This week, almost 1% kind of a recovery for both Nifty and Sensex. The good part is that all sectors ended in green, means सभी सेक्टर में पॉजिटिव साइड पे क्लोजिंग हुई है, सबका पार्टिसिपेशन रहा है इस रिकवरी में। The gains led by metals, then banking. So banking, which remained the key hurdle or challenge for the market, turned out to be a good performer than media, financials, and energy. Top 5 gainers: Shriram Finance, Tata Motors, Kotak, IndusInd Bank. So 3 named from the banking and financial basket, 1 from the auto and 1 from the metal. Losing side, not much significant cut. I would rather see this as a profit taking, because Maruti, we all know the kind of surge that most of the auto counters have experienced in the recent past. So it's a normal profit taking in Maruti, Eicher, Coal, Bharti and Reliance. सो ये पूरे हफ्ते का हमारा लेखा जोखा हो गया। और इसमें सबसे अच्छी बात जो यहाँ पे नजर आ रही है कि 1% के गेन में सेक्टर सारे पॉजिटिव क्लोज हुए हैं। ये एक इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज रही है कि सभी सेक्टर्स ने पार्टिसिपेट किया है इस रिकवरी वाले वीक में, राइट। गेनर्स लूजर्स लिस्ट आपके सामने है। इससे कुछ खास आपको नहीं पता लगेगा। सो लेट्स जंप टू द की फैक्टर कि निफ्टी में क्या लगता है। So this is the daily graph of Nifty index, and we were here, right? So situation was bad last week. 20 EMA, 100 EMA, both were decisively breached. This week, after the initial negative tone, the last 2 trading session, market showed some strength. And couple of factors that we pointed out in the last presentation itself. First, see, from the last 2 instances, we are making higher lows. Though markets are volatile, but when it comes to the lows, area जहां से कि ये वापस घूम जाता है, वो पिछली 2 बार में मार्जिनली हायर रहा है। इस बार भी यही हुआ है कि 600 के पास आके मार्केट आपको घूमता हुआ नजर आ रहा है। तो लोज आपके ऊपर के बन रहे हैं। इससे क्या मतलब होता है, क्या समझना है कि लोज अगर ऊपर बन रहे हैं तो क्या होगा? इसका मतलब कहीं ना कहीं बायर्स पहले आ जाते हैं। वो उस लेवल तक सेलर्स को पुश नहीं करने देते मार्केट को जिस लेवल तक लास्ट टाइम गया था। तो इंटरेस्ट दिखाता है ये कि हाँ, यहाँ पे कोई ना कोई इंटरेस्टेड है मार्केट में बाइंग के लिए। वो स्ट्रॉन्ग हैंड्स जो कि मार्केट को हेल्प कर देते हैं पहले बॉटम बनाने में। तो दिस टाइम अराउंड, you know, as of now, it seems like that 600 is the area. Obviously, we are not completely out of woods, so we have to see how far we can go from this point. Now, why I'm saying this? Because this yellow line, as you can see, this faint yellow line, right? This is the 20 EMA. So 100 is something that we have reclaimed, but 20 EMA is something that market is currently testing. It is currently at 24,900. Once we cross this, then probably around this previous area around 25,150 and then 25,400, this major trend line होगी। तो देखिए 24,900 ये की जो आपको येलो लाइन दिख रही है ना, इसके ऊपर अगर आप मंडे के दिन खुलते हैं, सस्टेन करते हैं, तो पॉसिबिलिटी रहेगी कि 25,150 के लेवल्स को टेस्ट करना, फिर उसके बाद 25,400 तक के लिए रिकवरी मार्केट आपको उस तरीके से दिखाए। मींस आपको 24,900 को ध्यान रखना है नेक्स्ट वीक के लिए इन शॉर्ट। जब तक आप इसके ऊपर है तब तक रिकवरी का टोन बना रहेगा, स्ट्रेंथन होगा 25,150 के लिए, 25,400 के लिए। अगर 24,900 के नीचे रहते हैं फिर दोबारा से प्रॉफिट टेकिंग का एक वो हो सकता है मार्केट में डिक्लाइन का, जहां पे कि 600 जो कि अभी रिसेंट लो था वो, उसके बाद फिर ये आपकी लॉन्ग टर्म एवरेज 24,400 वाली ये सपोर्ट, राइट? So the key pivot for the next week for the Nifty index is 24,900, right? So as long as we hold above that mark, then the tone is positive. Otherwise, profit taking may again set in and we might again retest the previous swing lows. This is about Nifty index. Now, the major factor or the major sector, whatever you can call it. So, banking, the problem was the private banking majors, HDFC, ICICI, Kotak, Axis, IndusInd, especially the top two, HDFC and ICICI, they was witnessing profit taking continuously from their record highs. Post the RBI policy, means day before yesterday we had the RBI policy, and wherein the Apex Bank has clearly mentioned that they are okay taking further steps to boost the growth, but at the same time they will wait for the transition of the existing cuts, and if required, if needed, they'll take measures in future. At the same time, they have increased the growth forecast and lowered the inflation forecast as well. So that fueled the needed rebound or surge in private banking majors, which were sitting on the sidelines for quite some time. Why? Because the major concern for the banking is that their margin is going to be pressurized with lower interest rates. So at least this pause plus the growth outlook, everything is in the favor that the recovery or the momentum in private bank may again return. And that is what we are seeing from the last two trading sessions. So this is the daily graph, and see the last two trading session rise. So next week, this 55,900, the previous swing high is going to be the first area of resistance. And the moment we cross this, then maybe closer to this 55, 56, 500, 600 is something the banking index can test. देखिए अभी सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज था बैंकिंग में वो ये था कि पीएसयूज आपके अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहे थे, चाहे वो एसबीआई भी आपके इतना हैवी वेट है जो, वो भी क्यों ना हो। प्राइवेट बैंकिंग की तरफ से प्रेशर था जो कि आरबीआई की पॉलिसी के बाद सबसाइड हुआ है। वहां पे एंटिसिपेशन है कि अब ठीक ठाक रहेंगे रिजल्ट्स और या फिर उनके अर्निंग्स पे कुछ इम्पैक्ट नहीं आएगा, फर्दर रेट कट्स अभी नहीं होने वाले हैं। तो कहीं ना कहीं वो चीज प्लस ग्रोथ आउटलुक इम्प्रूव हुआ है, इन सभी फैक्टर्स ने प्राइवेट बैंकिंग मेजर्स को एक बूस्ट दिया, जिसकी वजह से हमने देखा कि बैंकिंग इंडेक्स में भी अच्छी रिकवरी आई। अब यहाँ पे आपका 55,900, ये जो आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ जो हाई बना था, इसको क्रॉस करते ही दोबारा से इसमें एक अच्छा मोमेंटम देखने को मिल सकता है, जो कि करीब 56,600 तक के लेवल्स तक बैंकिंग इंडेक्स को ले जाए। Still, I feel that despite this recovery in private banking majors, the outperformance could be in PSUs. देखिए ये इंटरेस्टिंग है, बहुत लंबे टाइम बाद, शायद मुझे ध्यान में नहीं कब, कि PSUs ज्यादा फेवरेबल दिख रहे हैं इस टाइम पे इन कंपैरिजन टू प्राइवेट बैंकिंग मेजर्स, अगर आपका शॉर्ट टर्म का व्यू है तो ये बहुत लंबे टाइम बाद ऐसा हो रहा है। तो यहाँ पे आपको पॉजिटिव ही अप्रोच रखना है मार्केट पे, बैंकिंग पे, जब तक कि आपका ये 54,900 की ये ग्रीन लाइन होल्ड हो रही है, ये जो आप देख रहे हैं, ये जब तक ये होल्ड हो रही है तब तक ऐसा कोई चैलेंज नहीं है। थोड़ा बहुत कंसोलिडेशन बीच बीच में हो सकता है, बट जो मोमेंटम आएगा ऑब्वियसली वो 55,900 के ऊपर आएगा। बट जब तक ये होल्ड हो रही है तो आपको नेक्स्ट वीक के लिए क्या ध्यान रखना है, 54,900 की लेवल को, राइट। जब तक ये होल्ड हो रहा है तब तक पॉजिटिव साइड का प्ले करना है, ऊपर पे आपका 56,600 तक भी हम जा सकते हैं। So this is about banking. Now let's talk about stocks. So last week, if you go back and see our video, we've talked about Bank of Baroda uh, among the top 3 names that we have discussed. This week, Canara Bank is first on the list. A major consolidation, right? As you can see that the last high close from 120, it took many months of consolidation to overcome that mark, and this week it's a very decisive close, right? The stock is at the record high, so everything is in the favor that this momentum is here to stay and we can see further up move. तो देखिए, जैसे मैंने बताया कि प्राइवेट बैंक से ज्यादा हो सकता है आपको PSUs में ही मोमेंटम कंटिन्यू होते हुए नजर आए। उसका रीजन है बिकॉज बहुत सारे PSUs अपने रिकॉर्ड हाइज के पास हैं ऑलरेडी, 52 वीक हाई के पास है। तो एक अच्छा मोमेंटम कंटिन्यू होते हुए नजर आ सकता है, चाहे वो इंडियन बैंक हो, कैनरा बैंक हो, SBI हो, बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा हो, PNB हो। तो ये जो बड़े नाम है खासतौर से, इनमें अच्छा ट्रैक्शन देखने को मिल रहा है। तो कैनरा बैंक ये आपके फोकस पे होना चाहिए, बिकॉज नया हाई बना है, रिकॉर्ड हाई बना है, ऑल टाइम हाई बना है, मींस काफी लंबे टाइम बाद इसने अपने रिकॉर्ड हाई को रिक्लेम किया है। तो यहाँ पे मोमेंटम आपको कैरी होता हुआ नजर आएगा, ये इंडिकेशंस हैं। Next on the list, HAL from the defense space. So, in fact, if you talk about sectors, like, which sectors or theme that you should be focusing on, if the view is short term, near term के लिए अगर आप कुछ देख रहे हैं, कौन से सेक्टर पे फोकस करना है, कौन से थीम पे फोकस करना है, तो PSUs, PSUs में क्या क्या, बैंक्स, OMCs, डिफेंस, इन तीनों पे आपका फोकस होना चाहिए, राइट। सो डिफेंस में से BEL, HAL strongest candidate. Of late, after this, pivot formation, there's a marginal pause, but it's a very healthy and sustained move that we are seeing, and I'll not be surprised that in the coming weeks we might again retest the record highs soon. तो देखिए, अभी के लिए स्ट्रेंथ भी इंपॉर्टेंट है। जैसे मैंने बताया कि 24,900 अभी तक क्रॉस नहीं हुआ है, आज टेस्ट हुआ है। कल को अगर दोबारा से मार्केट नीचे आ गई तो आपको उन सेक्टर्स और स्टॉक्स में रहना है जहां पे ऑलरेडी स्ट्रेंथ है। जैसे कि अगर मार्केट गिर भी जाती है तो वहां पे उतना ज्यादा प्रेशर नहीं आएगा, उस रेंज में चले जाएंगे, साइडवेज हो जाएंगे, कुछ खास मूव नहीं आएगा, वो छोटे छोटे मूव्स में कन्वर्ट हो जाएंगे। तो वैसा ही एक इंडिकेशन HL में है। यहाँ जल्दी ही आपको एक अच्छा ब्रेकआउट, एक अच्छा तेजी का मूव देखने को मिल सकता है आने वाले दिनों में। तो HL पे भी आप फोकस रख सकते हैं अलॉन्ग साइड विद कैनरा बैंक। Lastly, the sectors which we like is metals. So metal, auto, largely, wherein we have seen strong outperformance in the recent month, and metal is continuing that move. Within the metal space, I guess sometime 3, 4 weeks ago, I guess we've discussed about Tata Steel. Again, we are reiterating that idea because after this marginal pause, it's a weekly graph, it's not a daily graph. So, like, 2, 3 weeks of consolidation, and this week again we are seeing strong traction, and probably we can surpass this previous swing highs also in the coming week, which may further strengthen this surge. तो मेटल भी एक ऐसा सेक्टर है, बेसिकली अगर सेक्टर्स की जैसे हमने बात की कि पीएसयूज हो गए, आपके मेटल हो गया, पीएसयूज में हमने 3 अलग-अलग थीम्स की बात की, चाहे वो बैंक्स हैं, चाहे वो डिफेंस है, राइट। मेटल में मेजॉरिटी ऑफ नाम आपके पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, चाहे वो लीडर्स हों, चाहे टाटा स्टील, जिंदल स्टील, जेएसडब्ल्यू स्टील, राइट, हिंद जिंक, हिंद कॉपर, नेशनल एल्युमिनियम, वेदांता, ऑलमोस्ट सभी से पार्टिसिपेशन आ रही है। कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है कि जो थोड़ा बहुत कम ज्यादा जरूर हो रहा है, बट मोमेंटम सब पे पॉजिटिव साइड पे है। तो यहाँ पे भी ये इंडिकेशन है कि टाटा स्टील में मोमेंटम आने वाले वीक में बढ़ सकता है, तो इस पे भी आपको फोकस रखना है। सो दिस इज ऑल फ्रॉम द प्रेजेंटेशन पार्ट। तो अगर इसको सबमिट करें, समराइज करें, तो 24,900, 24,900, राइट, 54,900 in banking. These are the two key levels that you should keep a close eye on, right? This ये येलो लाइन 24,900 की, इसके ऊपर तेजी, और तेजी मीन्स और रिकवरी। बैंकिंग में इसको ये 54,900 को होल्ड करना है, इस ग्रीन लाइन को होल्ड करना है। जब तक ये रहेगा तब तक आपका पॉजिटिव मोमेंटम मार्केट में कंटिन्यू रहेगा, नेक्स्ट वीक भी और आने वाले टाइम में भी। इम्पोर्टेंट ये है कि आने वाले वीक के बाद से ही आपका अर्निंग सीजन की भी शुरुआत हो जाएगी। टीसीएस के नंबर हैं आपके, जहां पे कि आईटी काफी ज्यादा अंडर प्रेशर में रहा है अभी तक, वहां से कुछ खास रिस्पाइट भी नहीं मिला है। 9 तारीख से रिजल्ट्स है, सबसे पहले टीसीएस का, तो वो एक काफी इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर रहने वाला है आने वाले वीक में। और तब तक बेसिकली आपको ये देखना है कि बैंक क्या करते हैं। स्टॉक स्पेसिफिक हमने बात की कैनरा बैंक की, हमने बात की एचएएल की एंड टाटा स्टील की। सो दीज आर दी stocks that you can keep on radar alongside with the sectors. So this is all from the presentation part. Let's do a quick feedback poll and then we can start with the Q&A session. So please fill in your feedback and then we can start with the Q&A session. कोई भी सवाल है, आप फीडबैक अपना शेयर कर दीजिए, उसके बाद अपना सवाल लिखकर पूछ सकते हैं आप। जो क्वेश्चन मार्क वाला एक बटन है जिसपे Q&A करके लिखा हुआ है, वो आपको प्रेस करना है। यू जस्ट write your question. Those who are done with the feedback, they can start posting their questions. जिनका हो गया है feedback, वो अपना क्वेश्चन, सवाल जो भी है आपका लिखकर पूछ सकते हैं आप। Okay, we are almost done with the feedback. So let's close and start with the Q&A. Okay, so let's start with query from Puran Joshi, what we can expect from IT sector. So post tariff. So basically, like what I've shared about the major challenge, from the key sector, both IT and pharma, is something that you should refrain from any fresh buying if the view is short term. Of late, we have had multiple challenges, related to that visa issue, and then Accenture cutting its guidance. So these are the factors. Basically, we need to see how this is going to impact the management commentary during this earning season. Means how the demand environment is panning out. So for a time being now, I feel IT and pharma is something that you should refrain from buying. Sectors like banking, particularly PSUs, metal, auto selectively. This is something that you should be focusing on. If you are planning to invest, let's say for 2, 3 years kind of a timeline, then definitely you can consider take selective bets in IT and accumulate them on dips. But for that also, I would suggest to wait for the numbers. Like TCS is going to announce number on uh, coming week. So after that, you should start evaluating your investment in IT. So hope this helps. Mr. Asghar Ali ji, in case if you want to know about algo trading and if you are associated with us with Religare, you can just reach out to your relationship manager at branch or business partner. And in case if you are not associated with us, you can DM your detail to us. I'll share this with the concerned team members and they'll get in touch with you. Okay, next we have Mr. Parimal Shah on HAL long-term view. So both long-term, short-term, we have a favorable view, when it comes to HAL, BEL. Basis their order book and the kind of, you know, focus the government has for this particular sector, uh, indigenous development. So in both short to long term, the view is positive. It's just that we'll continue to see the phases where the valuation is going to be expensive and they correct. But uh, again, it's all about how quickly they can. Because it's a very time-taking thing, for a defense company to deliver. Right? It takes months, years to deliver after the order. So execution becomes the critical part. So top players and those who have capabilities to export, uh, like HAL, is something that is likely to do well in the long term as well. Okay. Next we have Chandrabauli Krishnamurthy on pharma and NBFCs. Okay, so pharma. So, anyways, we have recommended that we should refrain. Basis, it's not that the recent announcement regarding the tariff on branded drugs is the reason. Uh, it's the policy uncertainty, right? Means though it seems very unlikely that there could be some uh, announcement on generic uh, drugs too, but the kind of environment such news or updates create that negatively impact the sentiments. So for a time being, we might not see any major traction. NBFC, on the other hand, looks positive to us. But again, here you need to be selective because not all stocks are participating. And with earnings season now in focus, it'll restrict to only to the quality names, wherein market has anticipation that the earning is going to be positive, right? So focus on top players, wherein there's a consistency in uh, earnings and they are performing in line with the markets. जैसे जैसे अभी निफ्टी मूव कर रहा है उसके अलाइंड है श्रीराम फाइनेंस, यू नो We have Gold Financiers, Muthoot, Manapuram, LTF, AB Capital. Some of the names basically where we are seeing consistency in that trend. Okay. Okay. So Aman, this webinar was more on equities. I understand that the way commodity markets and especially the bullions, both gold and silver, are moving. No doubt, people have queries around that too. And as of now, there is no sign of uh, like exhaustion yet. Means they still looks positive, but don't get carried away, right? When I say this, just remember the time like few months back, uh, index, defense stocks, railway stocks, they were all buzzing, right? And uh, people were talking about different targets, and they corrected roughly around 60 to 70% from their record highs, and now stabilizing. So don't get carried away that this is the last opportunity. When you are trading, maintain strict stop losses. Like what I've shared, the momentum is still positive. Continue with strict stop losses. Then you are okay with that, right? Otherwise, or avoid taking contrarian bets also means और कितना ऊपर जाएगा चलो शॉर्ट करते हैं. These are the like things or recipe for disaster. So never do that. Okay. Mostly commodities looks positive, so refrain from any shorting. Trade with strict stop losses is something that we recommend. Okay, few of stock specific queries. So, Mr. Atul, we have not shared any stock for target or stop loss. Means it's our observation. It's not a trading recommendation. If you are associated with us, obviously you can reach out to the branch, to the business partner, and obviously they can share your queries. They can address your queries after asking with us. But here we are not sharing any stop losses and targets for any of these stocks discussed. Okay. Vaibhav, again, it's a stock specific query. We'll see that if the time allows. Okay, so a couple of more stock specific queries. So we'll start with first on, let's say, NAM India. So Nippon AMC is trading at the record highs, looks positive, volumes are okay, everything looks fine. Means you can continue to hold your longs as per the range. Probably 1000 is something that the stock might test. So with stop at 860, you can continue to hold your long positions, is what charts are indicating. Okay, next, see, I mean, BSE and CDSL. So BSE looks weaker structure. It's just that we are seeing a bounce due to the oversold position, but we have multiple resistances, first at 2150 and then around 2280. So if you have existing position, then 2020 should be your strict stop, and use recovery to reduce your position. For this bias to change, the stock should close above 2300 mark. Then only we can see a reversal. CDSL, on the other hand, looks comparatively okay. 1550 is the key hurdle. The moment we close above that mark, then probably we can see the next rebound towards, let's say, 1650, 1700. Otherwise, the sideways tone might continue. Avoid fresh buying. Existing position, you can think about maintaining a stop at 1450. Okay. Reliance Industries. See, Reliance is also one of the factor that why we are not seeing any major momentum. Means it's been hovering in this band 1340, 1320 on the downside and 1420 on the higher side. So we are closer to the lower band now, and it's trading below the major averages. So this is something which is completely opposite to what we are seeing in majority of the heavyweights as of now. So it might consolidate a bit further, means until we break 1390, avoid any long position in Reliance. Existing position 1340 can be the area where you can think about maintaining your stop losses. Gurleen, HDFC Bank uh, means this week witnessed a decent rebound, roughly around 2%. So looks okay to us. The good part is that it's still very close to the record highs, and as we all know that banking and IT are the key bets from the FIIs. So in case if we see further traction, then it could be a positive trigger for markets in general also. So 980 is the immediate resistance. The moment we cross that, then probably we can see fresh up move. So as of now, it looks sideways, but above 980, we can see further. So hope it answers your query. Okay, more of stock specific queries. So please request to refrain from stock specific queries. Any particular sector that you would like to know more about, we are more than happy so that it benefits majority of the audience. So, okay, so broader indices, yes, that is important. Nifty, mid cap, and small cap. So, yes, this week it's a good week, means 2% for the Nifty mid cap and same for small cap as well. So it looks okay, but again, since we are entering into the earnings season, volatility remains high in the broader indices. Stock specific move, uh, we usually see sharp surge and decline as well. So be strict with your stop losses. Existing position, do not add to your loss making position. In case if you get the opportunity to reduce your position, especially in small cap, utilize this opportunity because like what I've shared about during the earnings season, we see excessive volatile swings, especially in small caps. So it's prudent that if you are not okay with excessive risk, you can think about reducing your position. Right. So largely we have answered all the queries, I guess. Yes. All right. So thank you everyone for joining in. And next week, same time, we'll connect again. Till then, take care. Thank you.